What is up, Purdue basketball fans? My name's Jensen. I'm looking to start making some videos. I don't really expect very many people to listen, if any. This is kind of more so just, I love basketball. I love Purdue basketball, and I love to yap. Alright, so if people tune in, they tune in and they listen. If they don't, they don't, okay? This is more so kind of just for me. But I'm just going to start making some recap videos, some preview videos before we play teams. Just go over what I think has to happen in the preview videos, and then the recap videos, what happened, what I think, issues were, and some positives that came out of it as well. So let's get right into it. I am currently driving back from the Purdue-Illinois game. And if you didn't know how that ended, not well. Alright, I think it was 88-82. Right? Not the outcome that we were looking to have. I think they're ranked 25. We were ranked 4. Not the outcome we were looking for. And I can't entirely say that I'm shocked. I mean, I am. I'm a little shocked. Okay, the UCLA game, based off of our USC game, I was like, okay, UCLA game might be a tough one. I know Donovan Dent is a dog. The guy with the weird last name, he's good. I went and watched that game in person last year. We ended up coming out on top, but I know he's a dog, and I mean, he was a dog last year. He scored like 20-something against us last year, I'm pretty sure. But, man, not the outcome we were wanting as Purdue fans. Some goods, definitely some bads. I guess start on the bads. Let's get that out of the way. Defense is killing us, right? Last 3 games. Not just the last 3 games. It's been before that. But UCLA game and tonight are 2 games that you're just like, it's just been shown on full blast. We have times in a few possessions where you're like, holy crap, they're guarding really well. And then, teams are just throwing something up at the end of the shot clock, and they're hitting them. Nothing you can do against that because we're getting good contests. But that wasn't necessarily what happened tonight. Too many wide open shots, and that happened against UCLA. We let, they're, what's he wear, 34 or something like that. I can't pronounce his last name. We gave him wide open threes, and then tonight we gave Wheeler. He hit some tough shots. You got to give him that. He definitely hit some tough shots. But we gave him some wide open looks. We gave, Izovich, or however you pronounce his name. He got some wide open shots, especially towards the end. But to make a push in March at all, this defense has got to come around. And right now, I think it's not. And I'm not giving up on this team. I think we have so much talent here, and I'm very confident that we can turn it around and figure it out. I think we needed these 2 punches in the face to, hey, we gotta step up. And I think it's going to happen. I think they're going to turn it around, and they're going to get it figured out. Obviously, you wish we didn't have to do it in loss. We should just figure it out. Okay, we got to be better and still win the game. But it just doesn't always fall that way. And I think the biggest weakness in this defense is, we're overextending. They keep sending high ball screens, and then Cluffer Jacobson goes out. It's kind of like a double team almost. and then it's a hustle back to the paint or to the wing. And by that time, it's already out of the ball handler's hands. It's into a wide open shooter's hand, and they're just hitting shots. And as a fan watching, it feels right now that every team is just shooting their best against us. And part of that's happening, but part of it's because they're also getting wide open shots. And it keeps coming off of that overextension. I think, down low and paint play and rotating like that hasn't been that bad. We're not getting beat off of that. We're getting beat off of wide open shots because of the overextension. We're not getting it pounded inside and then, we just can't defend it like last year. We've got Clough and Jacobson this year. They've done a good job rim protecting and just altering shots in the paint. We're getting beat by outside shots. We're getting beat by overextending on the ball screen, and then it gets flipped inside, and then they hit a runner, or they hit a, dish down backdoor pass. But it all starts with that overextending up top. And, the past 2 games, it was the most evident. It happened 3 different times with Clough. I mean, that shot that put UCLA up at the end of the game happened with Clough, overextending on top of the key. Back-to-back plays tonight with Izovich. Both times. He's wide open. My grandma could hit wide open threes, right? You don't have to be a high-clip shooter to make a wide open shot, right? 2 of the best looks that he could have got, and he just capitalized. And that's what happens. And, as a fan being there, you're getting your heart ripped out of your chest watching that game because, one, we're not supposed to lose that, and it's been repetitive on what's happening, and it's just the defensive side of the ball. And, yeah. I guess another negative, you look at Fletcher and the way he's played his past 9 games, he's just been non-existent on offense. Shooting a terrible percentage from behind the arc, which is not what you thought we were getting at the beginning of the season. We started the year off with a 30 ball, all that. And believe me, I have a Fletcher jersey. I got it signed, everything. I am a Fletcher believer. I know what he's capable of. I know that, he's going to come back to life. He's going to get it figured out. But right now he's not. And we can't continue to just play him. I mean, tonight was a different story. They benched him tonight. But, the UCLA game, USC game continues to not shoot well. And that's always good for, right? He can't defend. He can't rebound. Consistently, at least. He draws charges. He does a great job at that. But, when he's not shooting well, he's not doing anything for us, right? He's a liability on defense. And I think that tough conversations have to happen. I think that's got to get adjusted. I think he continues to start probably, and you got to gauge how he plays off of his first few minutes and stuff like that. And you got to get him back into a rhythm. He's going to figure it out, but it's got to happen soon, right? We want him to feel confident, have a good month of February, and then carry that into March. But my goodness, it's frustrating to watch. And I think with that, you have to consider Benner. It puts you in a tough spot because right now the way the rotation is, Benner's only coming in when Trey needs a break. I think there's a few possessions tonight. Yeah. There's some times tonight, he comes in for Trey, so him and Fletcher are playing side by side. I think that's not bad. You take away inside scoring. We're now more of a perimeter-looking team. That's fine. I mean, defensively, I think Benner does a good job. I don't think he is a liability on defense. I think he can guard 1 through 4. I think he's an athlete. He does a good job of also drawing charges, and that's why I think we have to consider playing him over Fletch at times. I think at the end of the game, tight ball game, you still want Fletcher in. He's known for hitting tough shots, stuff like that. And, career-wise, he's a 3% shooter, right? He's a great shooter, right? He's going to figure it out. Shooters get in slumps. They shoot their way out of it. Right now, he's not. He'll get it figured out. But when he's trying to get it figured out, we can't keep playing him heavy minutes for him to not do anything. I think Benner has got to get in and play because he goes in and he hits shots. I think tonight he was like 1 for 3, but, looking at that UCLA game, right, he went out and made some big plays. I think he definitely adds more playmaking than Fletcher does. He rebounds the ball so much better than Fletcher does. USC and UCLA, I think he had 5 rebounds and 7 rebounds. So, he goes up and gets the ball, right? So that's 2 things that provides that Fletcher doesn't. And with Fletcher not shooting, I think you have to have more of that in the game. And you're not benching Fletcher. He doesn't just not play, right? You have to give him a chance to figure it out. But I think that can't come to an expense of Benner right now and the way he's been playing. And after Omer's performance tonight, that shot looked great. I think he was 3 for 5 behind the arc, right? We thought we were getting a great player out of him. I think he is one. Going into tonight, we weren't, he had been okay, but nothing crazy. I thought tonight he did a great job in the opportunities he was given. He knocked down shots. I didn't think he looked like a cone on defense tonight. So awesome to see, especially for next year. But, focusing on this year, that was good to see. You got the minutes that we need out of him, which stepped up for, again, Fletcher playing the way he has been. So I think maybe I don't know. With Fletcher playing the way he does, you got to cut down on some of his minutes. I think Benner comes in, and maybe you put Omer in some more too, and you just play those out and see how that goes. Not a crazy night from CJ or Jakari. Obviously, Jakari had I can't remember if he had 2. I know he had one really, really clutch steal, on-ball steal. Questionable decision for CJ to shoot transition 3. I know the analytics and whatnot, but I wasn't a big fan of that shot. I think especially in the situation, I think it was like a 2-point ball game. Granted, there's plenty of time in the second half, but I think that's a situation where you slow down and get a guaranteed basket. I think it was 3-on-1, and we pull it out for a transition 3. I know he's been shooting the crap out of the ball, but let's take it to the rim and get fouled or something. But yeah, negatives. Defensively, again, we got to figure that out. Besides that, the offense has been flowing, but it really won't matter if we can't guard anybody and keep giving up such wide open shots like we have been. Let's get off the negatives, right? Positives. TKR is back. At least in this game he was. I hope this TKR is to stay. Going into this game, he's had a rough stretch. I thought he just wasn't looking to score. When he does try to score, it looked forced. It didn't look good. That push shot hadn't been falling. It's tough to see. We go from a 20-point per game Trey last year to, what was he at, 13? I think he's lower than that now. I don't even know if he's in double digits anymore. But that was great to see. I think that was my favorite part from tonight, is seeing him not only just score the ball, but it looked like the Trey from last year. Like he was scoring, but he was scoring aggressively. He was making good moves and then making the shot. And yeah, he just looked like he's playing so hard. You know, that little bump, shot, fake, step through, put it in. You know, it looked good. It looked like the last year's Trey and the start of this year's Trey. I mean, it looked good. I don't think we need him to be that 20-point per game scorer as he was last year, but we need him to be a threat, and I thought tonight he was. I don't know. Sometimes I think he makes some stupid plays when it comes to off ball and bumping into people, but I thought tonight that they just had it out for him. Him and Benner. Off ball fouls were just ridiculous, and I think the officiating was terrible. I mean, we didn't. I don't know. I can't blame officiating for why we lost because we left shooters wide open and they hit shots, right? That ultimately is what lost us the game. That flagrant foul, I think, was bullcrap. No way that's a flagrant. Benner got a charge call, but they called like 2, maybe 3 blocking fouls on him previous, and I think at least one of them for sure was definitely not a block, definitely a charge. I mean, the guy lowered his shoulder. It was Wheeler again, you know. Kudos to him. I mean, he had a heck of a game, but he lowered his shoulder and, I mean, put Benner on his butt, and yet that was still a blocking foul. I didn't think there was anything more Benner could have done. I thought that was a terrible call. And then there's a no call, too. I mean, it was Benner again. Got absolutely, rocked. Ran right into. Guy's arm completely extended. And, I mean, to me, it was like a flashback to last year of Houston's game. Complete arm extension. No call. I can't remember if they scored or not. I think they did. No, I think we got the rebound. I think they missed and we rebounded. But it was just, there's no shot that something doesn't get called there. And, I think I speak for all of us when I said that there's no way that's not a charge. There's just no way. You can't extend your arm, push off, and it not be a foul. But yeah, I thought Trey played a solid game. I can't remember how many rebounds he had. I think these past 2 games he hasn't rebounded it as high. But offensively, scoring-wise, it was good to see that version of Trey again. And I hope that's here to stay. I mean, we need it. I thought Clough did a pretty good job. He didn't get going until later, but I thought he's done a good job of being a threat down low and scoring. Jacobson, man, you are 7'4". Dunk the freaking basketball. All right, somebody has got to get in his face and yell at him anytime that Braden throws that ball up towards the rim. I think he's got to throw it down. He's gotten blocked like the past 2 games, 3 games, because he tries to come down with it. Shot fake, goes up. No, you're 7'4". Go up strong. If you miss it, there's no way that they don't call the foul. Right? Catch the ball up top, off the pass. Don't come down with it. Try to dunk everything. You're definitely going to attract more of a foul if you go aggressive and try to punish the rim. They're going to hit you, and if they don't call the foul, let Painter absolutely rip into the ref. I mean, we gotta have those scores. There's too many opportunities, not just from tonight, previous games where he's given the ball from Braden and he's not going up strong. He's trying to, touch it off the glass, or he's coming down with it off of a lob. Just punch that thing. Very frustrating. Obviously, he had that pretty sick dunk, though, off of Braden's behind the back pass. Or, not behind the back, but behind the head. Lob backwards to dunk it in transition. That was electric. I can vouch saying that Mackey definitely got up for that one. Who else? Yeah, Omer had a good game. I think he did a great job of making the most of the opportunities he was given. Braden did a great job of finding him. 27-12 in Big Ten play. That's crazy, right? That's a heck of a game. And right now in Big Ten play, Braden has carried us through Big Ten play, scoring wise. I mean, CJ has stepped up. It's been kind of Braden and Clough, but I think, man, you got to get Fletcher going. We have to have him hitting shots, and it's frustrating to watch and not seeing that go down. Offensively, I don't think you complain too much. I think we're getting the shots we want. Shots are falling. I thought we looked good offensively right now. I think everything that's holding us back comes on the defensive side of the ball. Tonight we didn't turn the ball over. There's the last few games it had been turnover problems and the defense. I think tonight we took care of the ball. But I don't know. I think it gets turned around. It's 3 games. You want to play your best basketball in March. It's frustrating to watch now. So I'm glad that we're this stuff is becoming evident now, and then it's got to get figured out. I think if something doesn't change, then get worried. I don't think Illinois is a bad team. Definitely should we have won? Absolutely. Both games, right? I don't think we should have lost either. But I think we respond the best after getting punched in the mouth. And, yeah, I'm excited to watch this tear that we're about to go on after this. And I'm excited to watch the Fletcher I know come back too. I'm hoping that gives him some good mojo by saying that. But they're going to get it figured out, and I'm confident in that. I'm confident in this team. I love our roster. I love watching our bench. I just love the guys that are on this team, and I am fully confident that it's doable still. I don't think we're out of it. Not if we play defensively like this, but I think it gets figured out, and I'm confident in that, and I hope I'm right. I hope I can go back and watch this and listen to this and say I said so and I told you so. But yeah, anyways, if you stopped and listened, I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to make videos for all the upcoming games, and hoping that the recap games might not be the same day or the day after. Just have to play that by how it goes, depending on when they played and whatnot. Next game, though, should be a little bit of a face reveal, I guess. But I'm hoping I don't have to do any more just talking and it's a black screen. But yeah, thanks for listening, and hope you enjoy listening about some Boiler Ball.